Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome back to English class with Miss Gita. Today, we are going to learn about analyzing narrative text by using Todorov's narrative structuralism theory. Okay, the learning objectives of today's material. After having some discussion and presentation later on, students are expected to be able to explain about the social function, language structure, and also grammatical structure of a narrative text, and analyze the social function, language structure, and also grammatical structure of a narrative text as the sample that will be given. And today's activities, we are going to have diagnostic tasks, Q&A about narrative text, study a sample of an analysis and group discussion and also presentation, and then ended by conclusion and reflection of today's activities. So let's get started. First, before you have the discussion and presentation and also doing some task, I'm going to explain further about narrative text and how is it um, the Todorov theory and how can we analyze a text by using the theory of narrative structuralism by Todorov. Okay, before further, let's check what is a narrative text. Narrative text is a type of text that tells a chronological story in the past tense. What are the structure of a narrative text? Based on Todorov's theory, the structure of a narrative text are equilibrium, disruption, recognition, repair, and new equilibrium. What are those words stand for, or what's the meaning of each word, each stage of the structure? Let's go find out by analyzing or checking the example of the analysis of a story. Do you know this character? Have you watched the movie? Yes, right? This is the story of Moana. She is Moana. This character is taken from Moana 2 movie because there is the first sequel of the movie. Let's have a look on the analysis of the story in Moana 2 movie. The first stage is equilibrium. What is equilibrium? Equilibrium is the first stable state of story. In the story of Moana, the initial state, it is the island, which is Motunui Island, led by Moana's father, the chief of Motunui Island. It is in a peaceful state. 3 years after Moana's adventure in Moana first movie with the demigod Maui and the island goddess Tefiti. The social order, Moana, as the daughter of the chief's Motunui Island, spends her day exploring other islands near her home island of Motunui in the hope of finding people connected to the ocean. The character state, Moana and Maui. Moana is the daughter of the village chief or the chief of the island, and she's chosen by the ocean to break the curse on the island of Motufetu in this movie. And Maui, a strong-willed shape-shifting demigod who accompanies Moana on her journey. And next, we are going to the second stage of the structure of the narrative text and the story of Moana 2 movie, which is disruption. It is the start where something happened, something start unstable. The triggering event in this movie, in a vision of her ancestor Tautefasa, reveals why none of those people are connected anymore. It is because the storm god named Nalo, he wanted more power over the mortals. So He sunk a legendary island called Motofetu, which connected all the island down to the depth of the ocean. And Toteifasa further warns that the people of Motonui Island will extinct in the future if Moana cannot find a way to raise Motofetu. Here's the conflict appears. So Moana feels confident to find and break the curse of Motofetu Island, just like the previous in the first movie. She feels like she has the responsibility to do that. And the character transformation, Moana become a new Totai Moana in Motunui Island, which means the wayfinder. She has the responsibility to find a new way to connect people through the ocean. And that's the second stage of the structure of narrative text. Now we go to the next stage, which is we call it recognition. Recognition means it appears to be the disruption appears the problem, and recognition why the problem appear and how to find the solution of the problem. So it includes awareness of the problem, while where Maui find Moana's crew, and Moana meets Matangi, which is the what is it? What do we call it? A god, demigod that works for or serve for Nalo, and Moana learns that Matangi is not happy in serving Nalo. It appears that Moana smells something here between Matangi and Nalo. And Matangi helps Moana escape from dangers and reunite with demigod Maui and her friends. And then they went through the Nalo's place to find Motofeto Island and break the curse. And here, Moana, in this recognition stage, Moana understands the cause, and she and Maui start to have a plan. She will touch the Motofeto Island as Maui left the island from the deep down the ocean. That's the only way to restore Matufeto and stop Nalo and break the curse. That's the plan. This is the stage of recognition. The character finds a way to solve the problem after they uh, what is it? They recognize there's a problem in disruption. In recognition stage, they find a way to solve the problem, and we're going to the next stage, which is a repair stage. This is the attempt to solve the problem. While in the recognition, they find the way to solve the problem. In repair stage, they do the solving problems. They attempt to solve the problems. So as Moana realized that Nala is trying to stop human from breaking the curse, she asked Maui to leave the island as they planned to, and for her to touch it. But um, as Maui began to pull up the island, Nalo strips Maui with his power, and Maui tend to stop the lifting island. But then Moana overcome the obstacles. Moana, in a moment of desperation, dives into the ocean instead of waiting. She dives into the ocean and touch the island underwater. But as Moana succeeds, Nalo's lightning bolts kills her. And then Maui jumps in after her body, and with a magical chant, it summons the spirits of Totaivaza and Moana's ancestors, including her grandmother, who help revive her as demigoddess. And now Moana gained a Wayfinder's tattoo magically. No one's put tattoo on her body, but it's just magically uh, what is it on her body. And then Maui, having also regained his power as demigod, and finally raised Motufetu and helps Moana reconnect all the people with the ocean. And that's where we go to the next stage, which is new equilibrium. It is the resolution where the crew returns home to Matunui Island, and then leading uh, lots of people of the ocean gathered from the Motu Fetu Island appears, and the celebration is held in Moana's honor. Character transformation: Moana has become a new good goddess and a new wayfinder in her island, and then Maui gained back his power and become more friendly to human. The new social order: the people in the ocean gather back as the existence of Matufetu as the battered what they have in their own island, and they just switch our, we call it barter, uh, exchange economical things. What they have, they exchange with what people from other island have, and that's how life begins. What is it? Develop at that time. So we call it the new equilibrium stage, and those are the five stages in the Todorov's narrative structuralism theory. Now, your turn. You're going to do task in a group of 5 to 6, doing the nearly the same, but with different story that will be given in the class. That's all from me about narrative text and analyzing narrative text. See you in the next material. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.